Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Stocks reached for the heavens today on hopes that a deal to extend the nation's borrowing limit was within Washington's grasp. Such a deal could still be very elusive. More on that in a moment. But for this day, at least, Wall Street set worry aside. The Dow had its best point gain of the year, second best day in percentage terms all year long. The U.S. dollar hit a two-week high. Treasury bond yields firmed, and there was strong demand at auction for 30-year U.S. government securities. All this on hope the White House will go for a GOP proposal to extend the nation's borrowing capacity for all of 6 weeks. Here are the numbers. The Dow soaring 323 points, erasing all of this week's losses and closing back above 15,000. The Nasdaq shooting up 83 points, but still on track to break a 5-week winning streak. And the S&P 500 rose 36 points, with all 10 of its constituent sectors seeing gains.
In Washington tonight, a crucial meeting at the White House. Moments ago, Republican House leaders wrapped up an hour-long meeting with President Obama. On the agenda, offering that temporary increase in the nation's borrowing limit that Tyler just told you about, in exchange for a promise to negotiate over the long-term deficit reduction and a tax overhaul. But reopening the government is not part of that Republican offer. John Harwood has the latest from the White House. So, John, what are you hearing? I know you've been on the phone.
Well, that's one of the reasons that the president may have rejected the Republican offer, is because it doesn't reopen the government. The president's conditions, remember, have been both reopen the government, raise the debt limit, then we'll negotiate about the budget. The speaker was trying to walk a line today saying we'll do one and not the other. They've had this meeting. More talks are going to continue. But the president feels enough confidence in his position, and a new NBC Wall Street Journal poll tonight out shows that Republicans are losing the fight for public opinion. That emboldened the president to say, no, we're not taking the deal on your terms.
Is the fact that the poll numbers indicate that the GOP is really being blamed for both of these issues, the debt ceiling debate and the government shutdown, is that the reason that their positions seem to be softening just a bit, and the whole discussion of Obamacare, for now at least, seems off the table?
Yes, Republicans are in the process of giving in, of caving, surrendering, whatever you want to call it, because they're getting pounded in public opinion. That NBC Wall Street Journal poll I mentioned, 53% of the American people blame Republicans for the standoff. Only 31% blame President Obama. That's a higher percentage blaming Republicans than when Newt Gingrich battled it out with President Clinton in 1995. So the president's got the upper hand, and he is going to try to make sure he gets a resolution on his terms. And remember what his terms are I'm not going to pay a ransom for the normal functioning of government, normal functioning of the Treasury, and that's what he's holding out for. I still think, though, that because Republicans are moving, we are likely to get a resolution by October 17th, which is when the Treasury says we'll hit the debt ceiling.
But what do you think that resolution could be, John? Do you think that President Obama would be agreeable to this very temporary solution, a 6-week deal, and then reopen everything again in November, or is even that not for sure?
No, I think he would accept a short-term deal as long as it involves both things, the reopening of the government and the raising of the debt limit, because the president has said that he's not going to engage in substantive negotiations until both those things happen. Republicans were testing, they're prodding, they were trying to see what could we get out of this today, and it sounds as if the initial gambit didn't work, but they're going to talk through the night, and I do think that they will find a way on a short-term basis to take both of those actions by the October 17th, and then we will, in fact, have I believe, a budget negotiation over, replacing some of the sequester cuts with maybe longer-term entitlement cuts.
All right, John Harwood, thank you very much. Busy day in Washington.